Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Chaemiko and Lawliet, taking place here on Northern Isles. Over here on the top right hand side of the map, we have Chaemiko spawning as the red human player. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom left, we have Lawliet spawning as, well, the yellow night elf. Night elf versus human in this 1v1 matchup. Things are already getting underway. Looking at pretty standard openings, Ancient of War here. But, well, there is no Altar of Elders yet. Altar of Elders after the Moonwell, that most likely means it will be a Tavern hero. And this should be an unorthodox strategy, with the Keeper of the Grove and the Demon Hunter so powerful in this matchup. Going for a Tavern hero is generally a very, very specific sort of strategy that you're going to open up with and hope to catch your opponent unaware and do a lot of damage, giving you, well, a good advantage going into the mid game. However, Tavern heroes do generally fall off in power as the game does progress. That is the reason why, well, Keeper of the Grove and Demon Hunter, both of those heroes transition very well into the late game, and they're able to do a lot of damage and also keep other heroes and other strategies in check. Now, we are going to be looking at an Archmage here. There is that Altar of Elders just now getting started, while Archmage is already nearing halfway done. Wisp are actually heading into every which corner of the map, as well as we are going into archers. Now, Dark Ranger is a possibility, Beastmaster is a possibility. There's a number of different strategies and openings that players can try to adapt to, and all of them are generally fairly strong if they are not uncovered quickly. This is one of those situations where scouting is incredibly important in WarCraft 3, knowing the type of hero that your opponent is going for and what you're going to be doing to try and counteract that is incredibly important in the matchup. Archers, are more archers going to be trained? Let's take a look at this Moonwell, still not done yet. It was going to take a little bit more time. That means that this Wisp is not going to be able to hire up it's going to be a Panda. So a very early Panda coming out. And this breath of fire early on, well, all of a sudden the Archmage realizes, Chaemiko goes, you know what, I cannot go for the strategy I originally planned for. It's going to be way too much damage. As you can take a look, Panda now making its way across here. Militia gonna try and get into the front of that Panda, thereby slowing things up just a little bit. Let's take a look at this. Are we going to go into a Breath of Fire? There's a Breath of Fire getting in on multiple units. Is he going to pick up the Claws of Attack +6? No, he does not steal that, as the Panda now looks to back away. He is getting pads by Chaemiko, though, so he has to be a little bit careful. Lawliet getting, severely punished right now. Meanwhile, back down to the south here, you can take a look at this. Archers are going to be fighting down here. So this is a bit of, split action. There is a Breath of Fire to steal a little bit more experience again. Down to 73 hit points, down to 53. The Archmage may actually be able to finish this off. Panda now trying to run for the hills. The Claws of Attack +6. Oh, is it going to be a frog? Is the frog going to be the difference right there? Archmage able to run past the frog. Panda still trying to run all the way home. And, well, he looks like he will be able to do exactly that. He retreats back home, sitting at level 1. And, well, he actually stopped to smell the roses for a little bit. If the Archmage had actually turned back around, that would have been rather scary. As you can see, a Moonwell, getting constructed and then getting canceled out. Wisp, is it going to try and do a bit of detonation? That is the question. They're down to 13 hit points. It will back away in time. Meanwhile, Panda picking up the Claws of Attack +6 and will most likely be, drinking from these Moonwells quite a bit. Panda already back up to 400 hit points now, but healing is still rather difficult. He could try to buy a Moonstone to, keep all of this all topped off nice and ready. He could have actually had a little bit more from the Moonwell too, as the Panda going to get into position, finishing off some of these units. Ogre Magi will get taken down. Panda sitting at level 2, trying to clear up some more of these units once again. Ogre Magi will fall, picking up a Wand of Mana Stealing. Forest or Tuskar Trapper, excuse me, not a Forest Troll Trapper. Tuskar Trapper should get taken out very quickly, as well as the Panda sitting at level 2. Well, this could end up becoming a problem. Archers need to back away. Panda is going to get a big Breath of Fire across. Drunken Haste, Breath of Fire across multiple units. Archmage comes back from the other side. Archmage has nowhere to easily run to. Wand of Mana Stealing denies a Water Elemental, at least for a little while, as the Archers are now trying to pull back again. Panda is in serious trouble. Is it going to be able to get away? Are we going to see a detonation? Yes, there you are. 1-2 detonation. Breath of Fire finishes off more units. Panda going to go ahead and scroll of Town Portal. Town Portal back to the other side here. Archer, well, going to reveal. Panda quickly uses those Moonwells. And, well, talk about fighting in a uncomfortable spot. The Tree of Life and the Ancient of Wonders, both of them getting in a big bit of damage here. We should be looking at perhaps a Moonstone being used to try to keep these Moonwells all topped off. They are completely bone dry, and it is well still halfway through. Panda takes a look back around. Archer is going to do a little bit of damage coming across here. Let's take a look. Water Elemental, well, free experience right there. Huntress with a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, Archmage now coming back from the other side. More damage coming through. Double Huntresses. And this actually may, well, throw Chaemiko off for just a little bit. Let's take a look at this. I'm just trying to get in all of that damage here. Archmage going to try and pull back. And you can see a little bit of damage once again being absorbed back there. All right, Moonwells being used once again. There you have it, drinking all of that once more. Archmage is sitting at 71, 72 mana. We could have a little bit of an engagement now. There's an engagement once again as the Archmage with Boots of Speed able to outrun. We are looking at double Claws of Attack on that Archmage, making it very difficult to really put pressure on that Archmage. You normally don't have to worry about the auto attack of that particular hero, but in this instance, the auto attack is dealing a large amount of damage. Archmage now coming back here. You can take a look. Plus 17 damage right there. Dust of Appearance. Panda now going to join in on the fight. There is a little bit more damage again. There goes One Footman again. Panda now sitting at level 3. That is going to be a big issue as this one Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, and a whole bunch of dead peasants all served up. Let's take a look. Down to 15. The Breath of Fire has come to an end. Meanwhile, Panda now trying to chase back every which way. Let's take a look at this. You can see the Ancient Protector doing a lot of damage, and also the Glaive Bounce just eating through so many of these peasants as well. Panda is going to be able to get a Breath of Fire. No, it is not. And he did not teleport back to this base, teleporting actually all the way over here. Scroll of Regeneration now being used. However, well, Panda is looking at 78 mana. There's a big Breath of Fire. Is it going to be able to finish off? Yes, going to finish off the tower and, well, perhaps do a little bit more damage as well. All right, let's take a look at this. Wanda Mana Stealing. Panda once again in a very good spot to try and push through more damage. Are we going to see another Breath of Fire across multiple units again? Let's take a look at this. No, he is not lining himself for that attack. Meanwhile, let's take a look again. Archers trying to poke through their way could actually finish off many of these peasants. Low hit point units will be forced to back off again. Archer trying to join in. There is the disruption on the heal. It looks as though the Town Hall, well, Breath of Fire across multiple units, but is the Town Hall going to end up falling? That is the big question there. As the Panda and the Archmage going toe-to-toe. Panda sitting at level 4. Drunken Haze. Well, perhaps Drunken Brawler being used as well, as 1 or 2 more shots is enough to finish it off. Huntress down to 25 hit points. Now in a mad rush to retreat back home. Lawliet with the economic, well, even economically speaking, tech-wise even as well, but a level 4 Panda is going to be the big deal here. Now we are looking at Moonwells that are currently, well, half full. There is a Moonstone being used. It was transferred over from a Huntress as well, as the Huntresses, well, are going to be regenerating hit points significantly faster because it is Nightfall, but it is just an artificial Nightfall right now. Huntress is going to make its way over. Water Elemental getting in a little bit of damage there. Meanwhile, an Illusion, all that is pretty much just going to be ignored as a new expansion may try to become established. Archmage sitting at level 3 now. Let's take a look. Huntress back down across here, just trying to finish off some of the units and some of the damage. It looks as though the Water Elemental will end up getting, well, dispelled due to timed life. Panda does have Drunken Brawler. You saw the critical strike right there. And if for those of you guys wondering, a level 2 Drunken Brawler is more effective than level 1 critical strike and level 1 evasion put together. So if you guys had any questions about that, that is how Drunken Brawler works up. It does both of those things, not quite as well, but in terms of overall points, it is very effective. And if we actually saw like a level 3 Drunken Brawler Panda, I would be rather scared. As we're taking a look, a Clarity Potion being used right there. All right, Panda gonna go ahead and try and surround this Water Elemental here. Huntress is gonna, well, Water Elemental trying to get away, not going to be able to get anywhere, really. He's going to get denied. There it goes, finishes it off. Panda sitting at 4.5. Meanwhile, Archmage sitting at 3. Back off to the north, an army of footmen. That is the issue. Big breath of fire across multiple units, and all of a sudden, one big breath. Huntress coming around the other side. Beautiful use of line of sight. That was actually a really strong use right there. As you can take a look, the Archmage right here cannot see around the corner. So by using line of sight, he was able to track and trap his opponent into a, well, unfavorable spot. Panda now sitting at level 4. Gonna go ahead and surround and finish off this Huntress here. Are we gonna see a scroll of... Well, there's a denial there. Meanwhile, heading back again, Archmage gonna drop another Water Elemental. Damage is just starting to rack back up higher and higher. This low hit point Huntress gonna get denied again. Water Elemental tries to make its way out, but unable to. Panda sitting at level 4. There is a little bit more denial again as the Archmage, well, accidentally loses all of that healing. All right, Huntress now making their way over. They're going to be able to bounce some damage onto some of those scout towers. Panda absorbing a large bit of that, and Huntresses are exactly what you want to see to try and counteract well, Scroll of Regeneration, since that Scroll of Regeneration bounces across so many units. Panda now gets up to level 5. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? That could be a very big deal indeed. Meanwhile, the units are now trying to head back every which way. What is going on? That Panda pretty much just walked into a horrible spot and now gets taken down, completely surrounded. Archmage, on the other hand, pretty much in the same spot as well. It is a bad day to be a hero as the Huntresses. Are they going to be able to get enough damage? Level 4 onto the Archmage, getting in a little bit more experience. Scroll of Regeneration. Archmage trying to get away, and it looks like it will be able to outrun. Now use that Scroll of Regeneration in order to get away, and with nothing in front of it, that Archmage investment all of a sudden lost right here. Huntress is finishing off many of those footmen here. Are we going to see a little bit more bounce damage happening again? And yes, you are. Huntress is trying to head back again, but you can see all of that damage being bounced across multiple units, and that does add up. However, the peasants that were killed, they do not give any experience to... Well, nope, Panda resurrected at the tavern. In order to, well, get back into the swing of things. Are we going to see Earth, Storm, and Fire? Panda heading over here to the bottom left-hand side of the map. We see a couple of, well, full moon wells. A Clarity Potion could also be used as well in conjunction. Let's take a look. Is a Clarity Potion going to be used? Yes, Clarity Potion and also a Potion of Mana. Is he using the Clarity Potion? He should be. There he goes. Going to be able to get up to about 220 in terms of mana here in just a moment. Huntresses now need to retreat back. The moon wells are rather empty. Archmage, well, in that front spot, is it going to lose some of that precious healing? Yes, it will. Huntress down to 38 hit points as the Panda now shows back up to the party. All right, let's take a look. Being dropped down. Level 2 Water Elementals, very high damage indeed, 33 to 41, as they are now just still wandering back around. Water Elemental, 33 to 41 damage. Increasing their damage really has a big effect against those Huntresses, as well as the Archmage. Archmage needs to back off here. More Huntresses looking to join in on the fight. More Scrolls of Healing will need to be purchased. Meanwhile, the Water Elemental going to be able to get in there and take off big chunks of hit points here. All right. Is there a Dust of Appearance? No Dust of Appearance. So second Water Elemental being dropped. There goes one Huntress. Another Huntress. Breath of Fire trying to finish things off there. As you can take a look, Panda could try and go for a Drunken Haze. Is it going to go for a Drunken Haze onto that Archmage? Archmage could end up getting taken down. Breath of Fire could finish it off. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire would finish it off indeed. Not quite sure why it isn't going that way. Archmage now trying to head back. There goes a Water Elemental as the Panda still sits at level 5. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. It feels like it would have been enough to finish off that Archmage. Why wasn't it used? I do not know, as the Archmage needs to figure out a way to regenerate those hit points. Chaemiko once again with the economic advantage, going now into tier 2. Meanwhile, we are also already at tier 2, now going into Dryads for Ancients of Lore. Still no footmen defend as of yet, not surprised, those units have not really been revealed at all. Meanwhile, a Tree of Life coming over here to entangle, as the Panda doesn't get, well, actually gets a Talisman of Evasion. That's not really altogether that useful, as the Panda now, well, still wandering back around. Let's take a look. The Panda is going to be able to spot this here Huntress Archmage now coming back a little bit all separated. That low hit point footman will live to fight another day. Meanwhile, well, Water Elemental 33 to 41 damage deals so much damage right there. You can take a look. That Water Elemental able to just burst down and do so much damage so quickly, as the Water Elemental and the Archmage tries to put pressure over here at the expansion of Lawliet. 40 supply compared to 44. Panda engaging against that Water Elemental. It looks as though the Water Elemental is gonna be able to finish off that gold mine. A new entangle right there. Meanwhile, Dryad Footman is gonna get finished off. It's a little bit of slow poison. One more shot. Yes, there it goes. Meanwhile, Archmage, let's take a look. Are we gonna see an Abolish Magic going after the Archmage again? Breath of Fire could try and finish it off. There it goes. Dryads are showing up to the party. Water Elemental, no Abolish Magic as of yet, as the Dryads unable to focus down that Goblin Zeppelin. But two, well, count them, two Water Elementals with timed life. That is not a good spot to be. Archmage going to go ahead and teleport back home. Should be dropping in another Water Elemental here in just a second. And that Water Elemental dealing so much damage is actually a very big threat, and something that you, well, cannot stick around for to see who is going to come out on top. Archmage sitting at level 4, double scrolls of healing for instantaneous burst healing. Meanwhile, Water Elemental, oh, Huntress getting completely denied right there. 1-0 upgrades. Goblin Tinker now also being added. We are looking at the Entangled Gold Mine about 80% done, as the Goblin Tinker finishes off, or will be finishing off, this Ice Troll Warlord creep camp. Panda sitting at level 4. Is it going to be able to find any big targets? That is the question now. Let's take a look. Arcane Tower getting in some big feedback. Breath of Fire across multiple units, now heading back away, down to 92 some odd mana. Meanwhile, Goblin Tinker gets to level 2, has a Mana Stone, and we'll see what that Mana Stone is going to be used for. We could also be looking at a Pocket Factory as well. Panda is in serious trouble. Stormbolt coming in from the Mountain King. Panda going to try to break his way free. He does have big evasion. Breath of Drunken Haze. Oh, Stormbolt onto him. Let's take a look. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? Yes, we are. And trying to break free. There's a stun. Panda down to 75, 76 hit points. 34. He gets finished off. But, well, it is going to end up costing the Mountain King. However, the Mountain King really not altogether that worried. Stormbolt trying to finish off a unit. However, the Mountain King will get taken down. There it goes. Goblin Tinker sitting at level 3 now, as the level 3 Goblin Tinker could perhaps try and finish off some more units once again. All right, finishing off the Mountain King, giving level 3 to the Tinker. Resurrection on that Panda now. Meanwhile, Zeppelin overhead going to get stunned and destroyed. Goblin Tinker at level 3 with that Mana Stone. Good mana regeneration in addition to being able to use it as a consumable. Nicely done indeed. Meanwhile, +2 attack, I believe that is all part of the Tinker's passive ability that doesn't cost any mana. My apologies for not quite memorizing it right now. All right, Archmage. Oh, stun right there. This could be a problem. More damage coming across. Water Elemental out in play. We should be looking at some Abolish Magic right there. There it goes. Huntress now needs to head back. It gets sniped down by a Rifleman as the Goblin Tinker pulls back. Mountain King now sitting at level 2. Goblin Tinker sitting at level 3. As we're going to see the Mountain King and the Archmage do a little bit more creeping to get to that next level. All right, 19 minutes into this match. Goblin Tinker still out here. There is a bit of stun already in play. Dryads need to back off. Goblin Tinker needs to back off. Mountain King may be able to get off a Stormbolt. No, doesn't need to. Archmage gets up to level 5. Level 3 Water Elementals. And that is going to be difficult to finish off, even though the Water Elementals now have less hit points. The Dryads Abolish Magic deals less damage to summoned units. Mountain Giants, however, the big, friendly, happy Mountain Giants that so many people love and so many people hate, getting ready to join in on the fight. Well, Riflemen do reduced damage to them. Spellbreakers are the only thing that can really hit them and do good damage. Meanwhile, the Tracker going to get finished off here. but not before a Dryad gets taken down. A little bit of a surprise that the Sorcerers were able to finish off the unit. Goblin Tinker picks up, or should be picking up, that Ring of Regeneration. Faster regeneration overall. Mountain Giant now needs to get in a little bit of taunting to absorb some damage. Tinker now already at 4. And as that Tinker gets stronger and stronger, and his abilities get better and better, especially with regeneration, he may be more difficult to finish off. However, Chaemiko is already at 73 supply right now compared to 55. And what is happening here? Spellbreakers. Oh, there's some more Abolish Magic. Are we going to finish it off? Yes, we are. There goes another Water Elemental. Panda getting at 5, almost at level 6. Double Mountain Giants as well. We should be looking at, well, Hardened Skin gives resistance to attack damage even further. Meanwhile, Mountain Giants 28 to 40 damage. And, well, the Dryads 17 to 19, no upgrades anywhere. Spellbreakers 1-0 upgrades, Rifleman 2-0 upgrades. The Rifleman able to deal a lot more damage indeed. Meanwhile, Mountain King dropping down a Sentry Ward, keeping track of everything happening across here. Panda purposely backing away, wanting to make sure that the Goblin Tinker gets all of this experience for himself. Huntsman will get finished off here. Goblin Tinker absorbing the damage, but pretty much knowing that it's not that big of a deal since he has a better passive regeneration, especially because of, well, in addition, because of that Ring of Regeneration. All right, Talisman of Evasion back onto that Panda now. Perhaps it should be given to the Tinker if the Panda already has Evasion, but maybe since the Panda is going to be in that front line so often, he just wants to keep it there. Corners of the map not yet cleared out. 76 supply compared to 76. Mountain Giants are all here, ready to go. As we are looking at more Mountain Giants getting trained up, we are going to be looking at 75 supply army. These last 2 Mountain Giants going to be making a big difference. Meanwhile, Chaemiko going into keep now, and he needs those keeps in order to engage against all of against those Mountain Giants. Mountain Giants very difficult, or he needs Knights to engage against those Mountain Giants. Mountain Giants very difficult to finish off. As they are high in damage and high in hit points and have medium armor. So Riflemen and any sort of range unit generally deals significantly less damage. All right, let's take a look. This Mountain Giant actually perhaps happy that he has medium armor right here. Takes reduced damage. The Ogre Magi was actually the one dealing more damage here, as the Goblin Tinker sits at level 4, also has Brilliance Aura. Goblin Tinker is going to have a lot of mana going into this next battle, as that, well, there is another Breath of Fire trying to pull a little bit of that aggro away again. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. Tracker going to go ahead and engage. Panda now looking to back up, and if that Tinker gets to level 5, well, that is going to be a big deal indeed, trying to pull all of that aggro. Meanwhile, Ring of Protection +4 should be given to that Panda. Panda would really like, well, to have a lot more armor and be able to survive the oncoming battles. Let's take a look. Ring of Protection +4, Scroll of Healing, and the Tinker, who is also now at 5. Both of them maxed out on mana. This next battle is going to be key. Mountain King sitting at level 3 has Potion of Mana as well. Will be able to get in a handful of claps as the Panda now heads off to the north here. All right, Goblin Tinker almost up to full hit points. Panda almost up to full hit points. Lawliet, Chaemiko, both sides are going to be here ready to go in just a moment. Meanwhile, Archmage is at 5. We are looking at a level 3 Mountain King, almost level 4, as the Mountain Giants pick up a club and are ready to do some damage. All right, Fragmentation Shards getting added. Increased damage to unarmored and medium units. Perhaps that will be enough to finish off the Mountain Giants. Meanwhile, Mountain King coming across over here. Let's take a look. Are we going to see a big Thunderbolt? There is the Mana Flare dealing damage back. All right, and also using the pockets, the pocket factory to finish off all of those buildings there. All right, another big cluster, another Breath of Fire. Wow, Breath of Fire causing so much damage there. Damage over time. Scroll of Healing, Mana Flare also being used. Panda, is it going to try and Drunken Haze? Breath of Fire, Spellbreakers doing massive damage. Again, another Breath of Fire coming across, as the Mountain Giants are just trying their best to use Taunt to pull aggro away. All right, Tinker still doing a good job again. Mana Flare still adding in more damage again. Panda up to 500 hit points. It looks like a scroll of healing was used. Mountain Giant now trying to head back as well. No Staff of Preservation, as the units had all teleported pretty much away. All right, Mountain Giants continuing that pressure. Mountain King is right there. Are we going to see, yes, a bit of stun once more as the Dryads are getting into position. There you go, a big blizzard followed by, Breath of Fire. Panda is in trouble. Panda down to, 330 hit points. It could get to level 6, but won't have the mana. No, it could have the mana here just in about a couple of quick seconds. All right, let's take a look. Mountain King being forced to use the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, trying to continually fight. 1 or 2 Spellbreakers could get finished off. Let's take a look. Panda is in a big bit of trouble, but turns into Earth Storm and Fire and is now here, ready to go. Blizzard coming out across Cyclone, picking up the Archmage. As you can see, so much damage, constant taunts. Archmage now teleported away. Panda Storm could actually wind walk and now to try and do a little bit of chasing. Meanwhile, Goblin Tinker currently low on mana. There you go, continual more damage there as the Archmage is in serious trouble trying to make their way back out. Panda 49 to 57, absorbing a lot of damage, a little bit of extra pulverizing damage there. Meanwhile, Panda now breaking wind walk in order to get closer to that Mountain King, continuing to engage. Blizzard destroys its own arcane vault. Meanwhile, more units are still falling. Goblin Tinker sitting at level 5 gets up to level 6. We could see Robo Goblin, but no. Lawliet comes away with the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.